Yes, thank you very much. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be on your event in Greece, and sending regards to my colleagues. Just to say for the beginning, idea is to keep the enlargement process alive. EU should understand that need to be attractive for the countries which want to join EU. Montenegro, for the moment, is the front runner of the EU integration, and we don't want to make any kind of selfish politics, especially in this moment when we have the aggression of Russian Federation in Ukraine. We went together with the Prime Minister of Albania and also Prime Minister of North Macedonia, joined by VTC, to support Ukraine and to supporting the candidate status of Ukraine. And we didn't make comparison with the Western Balkans in the way that the countries of Western Balkans in this last summit didn't get what, from my point of view, they deserved. And how we can keep the enlargement process alive is that we need to finish our internal issues and we need to deal with our internal problems. But in the end of the day, also European institutions should understand that Western Balkans have two ways. One way is to integrate fully in EU, which is the wish of all these countries, and another way is to stay like a black hole, which will make the big problem also for security in Europe. And if we look what's happened today in Ukraine, we should know that something similar it's happened in the Western Balkan countries 20 or 30 years ago. And it's not impossible in this kind of geopolitical circumstances, if we are not accepted for EU, to have the similar problems somewhere in the future. And the only way how we can combine the negative influence of Russia or every kind of negative influence of some superpower is to have the positive influence of EU. And the EU should make that positive influence also to our countries. What I want to say, we want to say that we want this merit-based principle. I think that if we finish our part of the job, somebody needs to recognize that. For us, is the crucial, is the most important for Montenegro, most important foreign policy goal is to be a member of EU. That will bring more security, more safety, and more prosperity to the region. But we are not selfish, I want to underline this, and we also want that Kosovo have the liberalization, North Macedonia open negotiation, Albania open negotiation, and another countries like Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina also go on. Because only if we complete this region, if we look in this region like European region, we can succeed together. And I think that when we have situation where we are not sending for many years positive messages from EU or from the region, we're making the big problems. Everybody should know that the nationalism in the region of the Western Balkan is too deeply connected with the corruption. Politicians who promoting nationalism, they are deeply connected with the corruption. They don't want to give the state to go on. They like status quo. They using the state institution, weak state institution, to make over businesses. We need to combine that. And I feel that the energy everywhere in the region, maybe it's not so strong, but it's much better than before, and I think that everybody wants to see some kind of progress. Montenegro wants to play that role. We want to finish our part of the job, and we believe that we can do that until the end of this year. If we come to the final stage of the negotiation, that will be the big boost for all countries in the region. That will give another hope to the region that enlargement process is still alive. And only what is our asking is to have this merit-based principle, and if we finish everything, that's somebody needs to recognize that. About just for the end, like a conclusion, we follow 100% the foreign policy of EU. You know that we have historical connection with the Russians and have a lot of Russian citizens who are also Russian tycoons in the country, or they have the properties and everything, but the government is very strict and dedicated about the sanction. Very strict and dedicated about the sanction. For us, we cannot deal just look into the way what is better for our economy and to make some kind of compromise with the principles. It's no compromise with the principles. It's no compromise with the principles. Why? Because we need to know what is our goal. Our goal is to be part of the Western part of the world politically, and our goal is to have finally countries in full membership of EU. So we will continue to support Ukraine in our way, to giving our best. Our capacities, of course, it's not huge. We will follow the foreign policy of EU, but in the end of the day, how we are allowed for candidacy of Ukraine, of Moldova, how we are allowed for all our neighbors, we also expect that EU countries should understand in the end of the day that need to relive the enlargement process. If they don't do that, maybe that will not make so big mistakes if they don't have Montenegro, Kosovo, or some other Western Balkan countries in the EU. But I think that the idea of common Europe and Europe of solidarity will be developed. We don't want to see that. We want to see, after all what's happened in the east of the Europe, that we need more solidarity and more effective decision-making process in EU and also in our countries.